This is a 1967 International Harvester 1206 tractor. This was originally owned by my grandfather, and after he passed away in 2001, it's about been sitting here since then. So that's over 20 years of no movement. Now, in the past, I've actually tried to work on this thing a little bit, but I wasn't knowledgeable enough. With this newfound knowledge of me kind of studying up and trying to understand the systems a little bit better, I feel a little more confident on tackling things. In this series, I'm going to be hopefully taking this beast of iron and putting it back on the same property that it was plowing over 30 years ago. It's been a couple months since the last video I made on it where I was saying I was going to get it revived probably that week or something like that. But school got in the way, and as you can see, she hasn't moved. Luckily, I don't think it has enough spite yet to grow legs and walk off on its own. So I'm ready for her to come into the family again. There's about 6 things that I can list that I need to fix. Both the PTOs never come off. The linkage is all messed up. It doesn't have first gear. It doesn't have low reverse gear. It doesn't have good hydraulics. The 3-point barely works. And so what they used it for was just hook up a PTO pump to it and hook it up to a sprayer, which is why it has the spray containers on each side. I tried to fire it up about 2 years ago using starting fluid and a salvaged battery that I had laying around, and it whirred to life for all of 3 seconds, and then I got air in the lines, and I haven't been able to get it to start since then. I'm gonna see if I can't pull this thing out using my tractor here. I'm gonna air up the tires first. Well, as you can see, she's finally out in the sunlight for the first time, and I don't even know how long. It's not been treated too kindly over its lifetime. It was put through probably 40 years of service and then parked in a shed. And it's been sitting right inside of this spot for about 20 years. Now, as I kind of stated before, this was my grandfather's, which makes me have a lot of sentimental value to it, but I don't have much money to go around. So I'm gonna go play by play kind of what I'm doing. As you can see over there, laying on the ground right underneath the battery tray, is an old battery that was a takeoff from one of the other vehicles that I have on the farm. I'm gonna hook that up, use some jumper cables, and if I needed an extra battery box, I know for sure the fuel system needs to be bled, and most likely some more fuel will be put into it. And then I'm gonna see if she'll crank. I'm going to try my hardest not to use any starting fluid. If you work on something and get it running well enough, you don't need to worry about starting fluid. Battery's going in, I'm gonna turn it over, bleed all the air out of the fuel system, and then see if she'll finally move, and then pull her into the shop. Well, I've gone through and bled all the systems as far as filter's concerned, and that line going into the actual injector pump. Well, I won't say I didn't do anything. It's a new day. I've bled the whole system, and I'll admit I went against my own word, and I used a little bit of starting fluid to finally get it to fire up. But it's a lot better working order, and right now I'm gonna drive it out of here, go over there and service it, and hopefully soon enough, within the next few, hopefully months, I can get all the parts that I need to get this thing back in working order. Well, it's getting late, but I'm gonna go ahead and try and pressure wash this thing. Well, I don't think there's much of a difference because of the dark, but it does seem to pop better on camera than I thought. So you can see I've gone around. I missed a couple spots. I'm going to take these tanks off and the hanger underneath it, just because I don't have a use for that, and it's much harder to work on with the tanks on. But I pressure washed every single inch that I could get to. I still need to go grab the rim over there. That's the matching set. As you can see, it's kind of lopsided. This is a rim off of probably somewhere closer to a Ford 5600, and that's a much larger size. So hopefully I can get 2 new front tires. I know some cheap ones on eBay that are probably about 60 bucks a pop for that size, which is good for nowadays. And I got no idea how I'm going to replace these Rice and Kane tires. Where there's a will, there's a way. And even though I don't have much money, I got a lot of will. I'm not running low on that. Well, as you can tell, she's not a happy camper. I've got 3 things that within the last 9 days I've wanted to get completed. One of those was getting that 1206 running, sitting right behind me. Another one is to get the dump bed on the back of the dump truck, which soon that'll be done. And the final one is to clean the shop up the rest of the week. I hope to have some good footage of me prototyping some of my prosthetics that I'm going to be making soon enough once I have access to all of this equipment going into Murray State. But I would just like to say thank you. It means a ton to me. I hit 100 subscribers a few days ago, and nobody except my grandma and my aunt care, but that's more than good enough for me. The fact that everybody out there is willing to put forward the effort to just hit that button and think that I'm worthwhile enough to watch a few stupid videos of, I don't think I can express my thanks. I just hope everybody knows it does mean a lot to me. I know I'm not chasing a number with this. If anything, I really didn't expect to even hit 100 within the first year of the channel being, this, working on equipment. But it did. And I wake up every day and I'm so thankful for my grandfather who gave me everything I have. I mean, that was his tractor. This is his shop. I use his tools, and without him I wouldn't be able to be who I am, and especially without my grandmother or my aunt. I don't want to ask for anything else. I think 100 subscribers is more than good enough for me. All this being said, I guess all I really can say is thank you. So, without taking up anybody's time any further, thank you for watching, and if you could, just have a great day and follow your dreams. I don't need a subscriber. I don't need the likes. If you're viewing this right now, I hope you found it interesting. As always, hope everybody takes care, and come back anytime.